everyone, it's your girl Tamari, the Astro Fashionista. I'm bringing you all the astrology, mystical, and spiritual videos that your heart fancies. And today I'm recording a video to kind of tell you about all of the important astrological transits that we have happening this week, starting today when I'm filming this video, August 11th. So first of all, we have Jupiter, planet of luck and expansion, going direct today, which is great news. Jupiter is Sagittarius's ruler and Pisces' ancient ruler, and it's been retrograde since April. I know retrogrades are pretty mainstream these days, Mercury retrograde being the most popular because it's the planet that goes retrograde the most often since it's fast moving. But Jupiter, being retrograde since April, has really slowed down a lot of the progress and benefits that we get from this planet during a retrograde period. Basically, Jupiter rules, it's a benefic in astrology. Benefic is good and it blesses us. It rules education, it rules travel, it rules expansion, making things bigger and larger, really upgrading things, blessing things, giving them, kind of rewards after, not in the way that Saturn would give a reward after hard work, but just giving a reward for giving a reward. And that's kind of why people love Jupiter, and why a lot of Sagittarians and people with planets in Sagittarians have luck on their side, even Pisces, because Jupiter is Pisces' ancient ruler as well. So Jupiter goes direct this week, which is great news because it means that it can do its work and help us out like it was before it went retrograde in April. And this is really important, guys, because we only have 4 more months of Jupiter being in Sagittarius, the sign that it rules. And when a planet is home in its sign, it's very powerful. It really wants to give the best of the best. And it goes into Capricorn, which Jupiter is actually considered to be in detriment in Capricorn because Jupiter is exalted in, I won't go too many, but it's considered to be exalted in Cancer, and Capricorn is opposite Cancer. So when it goes into Capricorn, it doesn't mean that it's not going to work, it's not going to bless us, but it's not going to be as powerful as when it's in Sagittarius, the sign that it rules. So we really want to take advantage of this time. We only have 4 more months: August, September, October, November. Wait, August, September, October, November, in December. So like 4 and some change. So I'm going to go over where Jupiter is and all the signs in a little bit, but the other transit that I want to talk about is Uranus in Taurus going retrograde. So Uranus is going direct, Jupiter is going direct, and then Uranus is going retrograde. Uranus has a much different energy than Jupiter. Uranus is a planet of change and disruption, kind of chaotic energy. It loves change, it loves to shock, and just cause, I don't like to use chaos because it's not always bad changes, but it's changes that we tend to need. If Saturn is like a predictable planet, Uranus is the opposite, where it's so unpredictable that when astrologers like myself do predictions, we can't even tell you what might happen when Uranus enters your sign. It's unpredictable. That's the energy of the planet. So Uranus is going retrograde, which gives us a little bit of a break. It doesn't mean that it's not going to still be powerful. It's just things might slow down with it in Taurus. If anything, I think there's going to be more of like a laser focus on the issues that have come up while Uranus is in Taurus. And so since Uranus rules change and disruption, and Taurus is not about change, it's a planet that really likes, Taurus is a sign that really likes predictability. It's a fixed sign, it's earth, so it's pretty immovable, it's slow to change. Uranus coming into Taurus really is like shaking that zodiac sign up, and anywhere where Taurus is in your chart is being changed over the next 7 years. So I think there's going to be more of a laser focus on some of the issues globally that are coming up with Uranus and Taurus, like climate change, finances, like, you know how we've been having all these security breaches and, Capital One and Equifax, all of that stuff. It's literally out of control. So I really think Uranus and Taurus is needed. I think we need a new financial system. I think we need currency, Bitcoin, all the digital currency. That's a thing that's come up. So I think there's going to be more time where people are really honing in on those things and bringing the changes that we need, hopefully for the better, over the next several years while Uranus is sitting at home in Taurus. So Uranus is sitting somewhere in your chart and disrupting some area of your life. It might not be hitting you now, depending on what degree it's in, which if you need a personal reading, you can always contact me, astrofashionista.com, and go to services, and I'll be happy to do a reading for you and tell you where these are actually falling into your chart. Some other things that are happening this week, we have Mercury. Mercury has been in Cancer. It's moving back into Leo. We had Mercury retrograde most of July. It went direct on like August 1st. And it's now, it was retrograde back into Cancer, and now it's going back into Leo again. And that is going to make everyone's communication a little more direct. We all might be a little more me focused on what can we benefit, what can help our lives. We talking about ourselves, because Leo is a sign that's very much about itself. It's ruled by the sun. So communication might just be more about yourself. You're thinking about yourself. You're thinking about what kind of changes you need. Everything that you do might be to benefit yourself while this transit is going on. It's fiery energy, so you might be a little more short-tempered, direct in your speak. What else might happen while Mercury is in Leo? Creativity, because Leo is a very creative sign. It rules creativity and fun and just enjoying yourself. So we might be thinking more about that and really acting on that, really getting out there and enjoying the last of summer that we have left. And it's so sad. So Mercury is moving back into Leo. Another thing that's happening is we have Venus, the love planet, going to be sitting right next to the sun. So Venus will be what's called conjunct the sun. A conjunction is when two planets are in close vicinity to each other. That's going to be happening late Tuesday into Wednesday. And Venus is actually, when a planet is next to the sun, it's considered to be combust in ancient astrology. Combust means it's not as powerful it can be, because the sun is like this bright light in the universe. It gives us all life, and so when the planet is right next to it, it's not able to express itself and shine as much as it would. And Venus is technically invisible right now as well. So Venus being next to the sun, I still think there's going to be a lot of passion, again, creativity, because Venus does rule arts and creativity and love and passion, and Leo is a very passionate sign. So when the sun is there and Venus is there, there is definitely fiery, sparked energy. But I think because Leo is such a me focused sign, there might be an imbalance in relationships, because Venus really performs well in its home signs of Taurus, Libra, and the sign that it's exalted in, Pisces, it performs well in. So Leo, I would say it's very passionate, but it's not in its best placement in Leo, because Leo isn't about compromise. It's about yourself. And Venus is all about compromise and being, you know, kind of like soft and just enjoying life and enjoying love and every peace and love and harmony. That's Venus. And Leo is not that energy. So it's not a bad thing. I think it's just more that we'll be focused. We'll have to watch for being too selfish in relationships, being too me focused. But creativity could be at an all-time high, because Leo is a very creative sign. And then one of the most important things that happens this week is the Aquarius full moon. And a full moon, we have full moons every month. And the full moon is when the sun is sitting opposite the moon. And it's a tension, and I have my wheel here and I haven't been using it for you guys. But I think I have the moon here. I have this set for Aries ascendant or Aries sun sign. So the moon I put here in Aquarius, and the sun is down here. You see that, ooh, this is an opposition. This little, let me get something to kind of demonstrate. So see, there's like a line here. That's an opposition. And you see there's so many planets in Leo. This is at 22 degrees. So it's not going to directly oppose like Mercury, because Mercury I think is at 1 degree right now. You know, it moves fast, so it'll probably be like a couple degrees by the time this full moon happens later in the week. Mars is at a later degree. It's at 26 degrees. Venus is conjunct the sun. So there's kind of an opposition between these two planets during the full moon. And full moons are about completion, things coming to fruition, things ending. Not necessary ending. I think endings are more so related to like eclipses. This is just a regular full moon. But something is culminating in our lives, depending on where the moon falls in your chart. The moon in Aquarius. And especially if you have planets near 22 degrees in your chart that are making some sort of aspect to the moon in Aquarius. So again, moon in Aquarius is about change. Uranus actually rules Aquarius, so does Saturn, the ancient ruler. So it's change, disruption, things out of the blue, being almost like a trailblazer. Aquarians are very like forward thinking. So that's the type of energy we're dealing with. Forward thinking, change, wanting to shake things up, being a trailblazer. It's actually fixed energy too, because Leo and Aquarius are both fixed signs. So it's pretty stubborn energy. So maybe there's something that is been stagnant in your life and kind of been a constant, and this full moon is going to come in and like quickly shake it up, or something's quickly going to happen, especially when Uranus going retrograde. That could be like the last hurrah before it goes direct again in a few months. So that's kind of what's going on in the stars. Now I'm going to go through how it might affect each sign. Okay, so Aries. Jupiter is currently in your 9th house of education, travel, long distance travel, knowledge, and Uranus is currently in Taurus in your 2nd house. So Jupiter really wants to bless you in travel. Travel would be a great way to manifest this energy until the end of the year. Long distance travel, getting away, going somewhere that you haven't been before. Maybe you want to go back to school, higher education, get a master's or a graduate degree. Actually, graduate degree is ruled by another house, but that could be just higher education. You might want to get a mentor. Maybe someone is really stepping into your life to kind of help you, help guide you. And this is for Aries or Aries rising, Aries moon too. Uranus in Taurus is going to be in your financial sector, your finance house for a very long time. So you're really shaking things up when it comes to finances. So with it going retrograde, maybe it's time for you to get your ducks in a row and really see how you can better maximize your resources. What can you trim down on? What kind of bills do you need to eliminate? Do the work before Uranus does it before you. That's one thing I can say about Uranus. It changes things that kind of need to be changed. So if you're having financial issues in your life, you make the changes, be an initiator, and make it before Uranus disrupts it and makes it uncomfortable for you. And then the full moon is going to be happening in your 11th house, which is all about friends, hopes, and wishes. It's the money you make from the job that you work, because it's the 2nd from the 10th house, career. So maybe there's something happening where you're getting an opportunity through a friend that's going to help you financially, but it's also changing your work environment. Maybe there is an issue that comes to fruition or culmination involving a friend or a group or groups of people, an association that you're a part of. Maybe you're needing to learn how to better balance your home life and your work life, and or your children and your family and your work life and the money that you're making to support them. All of that can come up while around this full moon in this week. Okay, Taurus, my sign. This is for Taurus rising, sun, moon. Taurus. So Uranus is in your 1st house of home. I mean, your 1st house of self, and that's you. So over the next 7 years, you're going to change. All of us change, obviously, because we grow, and hopefully all of us grow and learn to become better people. But with Uranus here, this is like major change. This is like a total change in belief, a total 180. Just kind of going, maybe changing your belief systems, changing your exercise habits. I mean, that's more 6th house, but your 1st house is you and your body. Maybe you're changing. Maybe you're changing the way you look. You're changing the way you think. You're changing your ideals. While Uranus is going retrograde, there's going to be more focus on this type of stuff. You're going to be thinking about things a lot. You might feel a little bit antsy just because Uranus energy is very electric. It's very electrifying, and with it going retrograde, I mean, you're already feeling that, but maybe it's like, especially when it slows down, you're going to really feel like a jolt and antsy. But you'll get a little bit of a break while it's retrograde. Jupiter is in your 8th house of 8th house is like shared resources with your partners. Maybe your partner's income has increased, or it's going to increase while Jupiter is going direct, and you're going to see the benefits of that. Jupiter is a very spiritual, it's all knowing, all powerful, higher power type of energy. So maybe in the 8th house is a very like deep and spiritual house. It's about death and rebirth, both literal and metaphorical. So maybe you've been thinking a lot and contemplating about your life, your purpose, why you're here, and you're really going to be figuring that out over the next 4 months until Jupiter moves into Capricorn. Maybe you're thinking about having a baby. 8th house rules pregnancy, so that can manifest in that way. And then the full moon is happening in your 4th house of home. I'm sorry, not your 4th house, your 10th house of work and career and destiny. And so maybe there's something that's going to happen around that, something that's going to directly affect your home life. And it could be, I don't know. It's hard to say how it's going to manifest because we have Uranus there, but definitely something with your career. I don't know, maybe you're looking to make a career change. That actually would be a really good Uranus, because really Uranus is squaring. It's not a direct square during the full moon, but right now by sign it's squaring. And so maybe you've really been thinking of making a career change. And so maybe it might manifest that way. Okay, Gemini. Okay, so Gemini, Jupiter is now in your 7th house of relationships and partnerships and marriage, business partnerships. And so now could be the time that you really could find someone that you're thinking about settling down with, more of like a marriage type partner. That doesn't mean all Geminis are going to get married. That just means you could, or Gemini rising, there could be the opportunity to meet this person or meet someone that could potentially be a long-term partner, if that's what you want. So now the energy is going direct. It's a much better time to really commit to someone, whereas when it was retrograde, maybe you were feeling a little bit, uneasy about it, or you didn't know. So right now there might be a little more clarity in that area. And Uranus is in your 12th house, and your 12th house is really, it's like a psychological house. It's things that are hidden. It's faraway places. It's travel as well. The 9th house is travel, but the 12th house is also faraway places. So I don't know, maybe you've really been turning inward and really evaluating what makes you happy. You've been spending maybe more time alone, really feeling like you're going through a deep-rooted psychological change, not something that's more 8th house where you're contemplating life and death or anything like that, but it could be more that you're contemplating what makes you happy. It's the house right before your 1st house, which is you. So it's like almost a precursor before it gets to you. So you're really, it's all subconscious things that are happening. Pay attention to your dreams. And this is a long-term transit. We're talking 7 years. So it's going to be slow, but like when it goes retrograde, things might come up for you. And then the full moon is happening in your 9th house of travel, education, higher learning. And so there could be an opportunity to take a trip, or maybe there's some sort of guru or mentor that comes into your life that shows up, someone that's really like eccentric and forward thinking and really is there to like help guide you in some way. Wouldn't it be interesting too if you met a romantic partner, a life partner through like a guru or a mentor or something? That's just something that could happen. Let me know. Yeah, let me know if that happens. It also could manifest as maybe you're finishing some course or some education, or maybe you were learning on your own, an online course or something, and it's coming to a close. So that's how that can manifest for you, Gemini. And then Cancer. This is Cancer, Cancer rising, Cancer moon. So Jupiter is actually in your 6th house of work, service, health. Really blessing you in that area. So maybe you've had more success on the job, and the 10th, the difference between the 6th and the 10th is more status, it's long-term career, it's your life purpose, that sort of thing, where the 6th house is more day-to-day work and task and routine. So Jupiter has been blessing that area for you, Cancer. So maybe you have gotten some great new projects at work. Maybe your colleagues have been helping you out. Maybe you've gotten more work, because Jupiter doesn't only bless, it brings more of something. So you actually could be getting more work, but it is maybe possibly paying off financially for you. So you're really going to be focused on that, or maybe you're focused more on getting your health in order. You could be like doing more exercising, more of taking your vitamins, more of being just into like health routines. Maybe you're going to get a pet or a dog or something like that. 6th house rules pets. Uranus for you is in your 11th house. Your 11th house of friends, groups, associations. So over the next 7 years, people from all walks of life are going to come into your life. Whether they're going to stay or not is yet to be seen, but you're just getting a lot of people coming in and out. And so with it going retrograde, that might slow down a little bit, or maybe someone that you've met, because this could have already started, especially if it's at the early degrees of Taurus in your 11th house, or it's hitting a personal planet. Maybe you've already met someone, and that person, you're trying to evaluate if they stay in your life, and I'm not talking about like a romantic relationship or anything. I'm talking about maybe someone like a business connection, or a networking, or a friend or something like that, and you're trying to evaluate if this is going to be long-term or something like that. And then the full moon is going to fall into your 8th house. 8th house of other people's money, shared resources. So maybe there's something that's going to culminate around there. I don't know, maybe some of you are going to be getting an inheritance of some sort. Okay, Leo, there's already a lot going on with your sign, because we have so many planets in your sign currently. We are in Leo season. Jupiter is currently in Sagittarius in your 5th house of romance, friends, children. So with Jupiter going direct, there might be more of an emphasis on romantic partners coming in. And this is assuming that you're not in a relationship already. Maybe there's more romantic potential people, because 5th house is more of dating and boyfriends and girlfriends. Or it could be that you're having more romance in your relationship with Jupiter being there. Maybe there's more emphasis on your children, or maybe your creative juices are flowing and you've just gotten a spark of creativity, especially if you work in like a creative field like design, or I don't know, painting, or you're an artist or something like that, or even a creative field like, film. So that could be what you'll be focused on until the end of the year with Jupiter being there. So then Uranus is in your 10th house of public image, career, how you want to be seen in the world. So this is really changing over the next 7 years. You're going to be really focused on your identity and changing things. This is for Leo, Leo rising, Leo moon. And so that's being shaped up. So while Uranus is retrograde, maybe you're thinking more about that. Maybe you're starting to make the beginning changes to change your reputation in the world, or your career, your destiny. And it could have already happened for some of you guys. Maybe there was a big change, or some of you it hasn't happened yet, and you can feel something bubbling. And then for you, the full moon is opposite your sign. It's happening in Aquarius in your 7th house of marriage, partnerships, partnerships in business, relationships. So there's something coming to fruition or something happening in that area. It could be with a marriage partner. Maybe something happens with them, or you guys have a big conversation that's gonna change your life, or not in some big dramatic way, but something that you guys are changing. You're getting on the same page and you're just having a serious conversation. Maybe something happens with your spouse unexpectedly, since it's Aquarius and Uranus rules Aquarius, and it's going to affect you because it's opposite your planets in your sign. Yeah, so that's how that can manifest for you. And then Virgo. So Virgo, you have Jupiter in Sagittarius in your 4th house of home and family, and your foundation, and really it's been blessing you. So this is Virgo, Virgo rising, Virgo moon. If you're thinking about buying a house, this is probably a really good time to do something like that. Or if you're thinking about making renovations to your home, or making it better so that you want to sell it for more money later, this is a great time, great energy for that. Now through the end of the year, things have been kind of slow. With Jupiter being retrograde, you're still being blessed in that area, but now is the time to strike while the iron's hot and really go for those home changes. Maybe there's something with your family life. Maybe you're spending more time with your family. Maybe you and your family are coming up with ways to, I don't know, get closer. It should be more jovial in your home life overall, hopefully, with Jupiter there. Or if it's not and it's bad and things were bad, it could be more of the bad, and really you're being asked to make some changes so that you can be blessed and experience a beautiful home life, because we all deserve that. So then Uranus is actually in your 9th house of travel, education, higher learning. So over the next 7 years, you're going to be really changing your philosophies, your life philosophies, changing the way you learn things, that you might learn a lot of new things. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, so you're already into knowing a lot of facts, and it's a very mentally charged sign already. So with Uranus there, and Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury, there's really an emphasis on like really expanding your knowledge in some way. And this could be through travel. You can learn through travel, so maybe there's going to be more of that. Some of you might be moving abroad. So now with Uranus going direct, maybe you're researching some of that. Maybe you're researching a graduate program. Maybe you're researching some other type of certification, and you're really going to be thinking about how you can make changes in your life long term. And then the full moon is happening in your 6th house of work, or everyday work, health. This is actually Virgo's house, naturally the 6th house. So it could be that there's something that happens in your work life. Maybe someone quits, or maybe someone gets hired, and it really changes your day-to-day routine in some way, for better or for worse. We've yet to see how that manifests. Maybe something happens with a pet of yours, and you're going to have to give it, take it to the vet. Or maybe, I don't want to scare any of you, sorry. Just because full moons are about culminations and things happening. So I'm just trying to see all the ways this could play out. It doesn't mean it's necessarily going to happen, especially if the moon isn't making any aspects. These are general reading, guys. Maybe watch your health right now. Maybe you're going to be more laser focused on making a change to your health and your diet, and Virgos are already really, a lot of them already into that stuff. So maybe there's just like some quick change, and you're like, no, I'm going to do the keto diet, and I'm going to stick to it, and you stick to it now. Or maybe you're going to get off the keto diet because you feel like it's not working. So yeah, those are just some ways it could manifest with the full moon. Okay, Libra. So Libra, Sagittarius is in your 3rd house. Sagittarius rules your 3rd house. Libra, Libra rising, Libra moon. So Jupiter in Sagittarius is happening in your 3rd house of communication, short distance travel. 3rd house is also business. So with Jupiter there, this is, a lot of people don't know, but this is actually excellent for expanding business, expanding your resources through other people, through technology in some way. by reaching a lot of people. Maybe you're starting a YouTube channel, maybe you're starting an internet app or something, or maybe you're just doing something where you're reaching a lot of people in a neighborhood and you're increasing your business that way. This is an excellent way to take advantage of that sort of expansive energy in this house. Or it could be that you're getting closer to your siblings this time, or your neighbors. You could just be moving around a lot, like more than usual, just on the go, taking trips here and there every weekend. Or you could just be, you know, networking here and networking there, just meeting a lot of new people in your basic local vicinity. Uranus is in Taurus, and it's actually happening in your 8th house of, you know, death and rebirth, other people's resources, through your partnership. So maybe your spouse, there's going to be a change there over the 7 years, and it's going to affect you. It could be more money, it could be less, we don't know. There could be some sort of, you know, psychological death in some way to something in your life that you really need to let go and get out. And Uranus is kind of helping you really think about the way you view life. And it's really like a deep rooted change that needs to be made. And so now with Uranus going retrograde, you're really focusing in on that, and you're thinking deeper. Things might be feeling a little bit unsettled for you, but you're really being guided to trust the process of life, that everything has a life cycle and everything has a beginning and an ending, and you can't hold on to everything. So maybe you're thinking more about that in your mortality overall. And then we have the full moon happening in your 5th house of romance and creativity and children. So there could be something happening that involves your children. Maybe they're starting a new program or something, and you're having to change your routine. If you have children, really watch the romance during this week. Try not to be too stuck in your ways. Remember that relationships take balance. In Libra, you're all about balance. That's our whole thing, that it should be easy for you, or maybe your partner is being a little stubborn and you have to remind them that, you know, you have to both give and take in relationships. Scorpio rising, Scorpio moon. Jupiter is in your 2nd house of income. So it's going direct in that area, and really Jupiter there, quite frankly, can really increase your income and your resources, especially through the end of the year. You might have more opportunities to make money. You're probably spending more money as well, but with Jupiter there, it's that if you are spending money, money is coming in to replace that. And so hopefully it's not too bad. So right now you should really, like, if you have any ideas for businesses or opportunities, just strike while the iron's hot. Jupiter in 2nd house can be really, really beneficial for your financial future. Uranus right now is in your 7th house of partnerships, marriage. So there might be change occurring with your romantic partner. Maybe some romantic partners have come into your life since this transit has happened, and are potential partners. I can't say it's going to be long-term because Uranus is very erratic, and it doesn't indicate longevity, but it indicates something happening out of the blue. So it could be that you're meeting people, meeting a potential love partner or partnership or business partnership, and you're evaluating. So when it goes retrograde, really just see if people are here to stay. Don't take anything at face value. Don't assume someone's going to be there for you forever. Just kind of use this period to get to know the people that you've met, or if you've met anyone new. And then the full moon is happening in your 4th house of home and family. So there could be something coming to fruition around there. Maybe some of you bought a house. Maybe some of you have to move. Maybe some of you are decorating, or you've had to decorate, or something happened where you had to do some repairs. That's how that could manifest. But if you have been looking for a while, and maybe you made an offer, and this is the week your offer gets accepted. I mean, I hope it manifests good like that for some of you guys. Okay, Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, Jupiter is your ruler and it's in your sign. So this is great. This is a great time for Sagittarius. You guys really need to go for the gusto until the end of the year while Jupiter is still at home in your sign. Putting yourself out there, traveling, meeting people, because the first house is you. So anything that involves expanding your mind, expanding your knowledge, expanding your habits, expanding anything that has to do with you, you should be doing right now. Really expanding your vision of the world. And this is Sagittarius, rising, moon, and sun. So take advantage of that. Uranus is in Taurus, and it's actually in your 6th house of work and service and health and pets. Maybe you'll get a pet out of the blue while this transit happens. Even when it goes retrograde, that still might happen. Maybe a lot of you are going to be changing jobs over these next 7 years, especially if you've been on a job for a long time and maybe you're tired of it, but you've been afraid to make the change. And so something happens where you finally get an opportunity and you're able to kind of move along. That could happen during a retrograde. Maybe you get, maybe it was culminating before this retrograde happens. And then now you're making the change and you're settling into a new job. It can manifest that way. Some of you are changing your health habits, or something's going on with your health and you need to pay more attention to it. Take care of it. That's a good way to revisit health issues during a retrograde period, just to make sure you're keeping everything fine-tuned. And then the full moon is going to be happening in your 3rd house of short distance travel, communication. Maybe something's happening with a sibling. You get some news. Sibling calls you about something and you kind of have to step in and help them. Or maybe you have to step in and help a neighbor with something. They call you and you're there to help them and lend a hand to them. Maybe someone calls you out of the blue with some information that you need. I don't know, maybe the information is connected to a job or something like that. So that can play out in several different ways. Capricorn, lots going on for you. Capricorn, rising, moon, and sun. We have Jupiter in Sagittarius. It's in the sign right before, Sagittarius is the sign right before you. So Jupiter is in your 12th house of your subconscious, faraway places. A lot of Capricorns right now, you could be using this time to like go on a solo trip abroad and really contemplate life like on your own. Like that would be a good way to manifest this energy, just to really spend some time in solitude and really get to know yourself better. Or maybe you go away somewhere for a week or a silent retreat or something like that. That's a great way to manifest this energy through the end of the year before Jupiter moves into your sign. Or maybe go to therapy, psychoanalyzation, is that a word? Psychotherapy or something like that, really getting to deep-rooted issues, especially since you have both Pluto and Saturn in your sign. There's very heavy energy, so maybe you're using the Jupiter influence in Sagittarius to really help you get through some of these deep-seated rooted issues. Uranus is in a sign that is trine yours, a positive aspect in Taurus, and it's happening in your 5th house of romance. So a lot of Capricorns, especially if you're not coupled, you might be having people coming in and out during this period. New love interests, people that you're dating a lot, you're on the scene, you're meeting people. And who knows, this could turn into something serious since it's Taurus and it's fixed energy, but we don't know. So you're kind of could be enjoying yourself when it goes retrograde. Maybe you're honing in, if you've met some people over the past months, you're honing in on like who you really want to date long term, and maybe you get the rest of the people out and you focus on one person and kind of give them your energy. Some of you might be having children out of the blue and you didn't know. Some of you are getting really creative sparks of ideas, and you can manifest, the energy can manifest itself that way. And then the full moon is happening in your 2nd house of income in Aquarius. So this could possibly be some sort of increase of some sort. It could be through somebody else, since it's all the planets in Leo are in the 8th house. Maybe there's some payout or something, some inheritance. Maybe you do have to spend a large amount of money for something unexpectedly. but hopefully it's the prior. You get some money and you didn't expect it, or you get some money that was owed to you or something like that. Or it could be an increase in salary, maybe something maybe you were working on increasing your salary, or if you've really been talking to your employer saying you need a raise, and maybe they finally say yes. Aquarius. So we have Jupiter in Sagittarius in your 11th house of friends, groups, and association, and you rule this house. Aquarius actually rules the 11th house. So right now, this is a great time for Aquarians to really be networking with people, meeting new people, putting themselves out there, making money from their business that they didn't make, maybe getting more connections for their business. It's a really good time to use the people around you to expand yourself and your life, and expand your network, and expand your self-worth, and all of that stuff. So take all business cards, give your business card, just really be out and take advantage of this time, especially through the end of the year. Uranus is actually in your 4th house of home, going to be shaking things up over the next 7 years in that area. A lot of you are going to be starting families. Some of you are going to be maybe moving. Some of you are going to be redecorating. Some of you are going to be doing major changes to your home. Maybe you're going to be going to business as a property flipper or something. There's all kinds of things. Actually, that would be a good way. You're meeting lots of people, learning how to flip houses, and they're helping you, and the Uranus energy is coming through for better or for worse to kind of help you get these properties. And then maybe you're having to meet with a lot of people to sell them. I know, that's just one way. And then the full moon is actually happening in your sign. So this is going to be a really important full moon for you. You might be feeling, I wouldn't say Aquarius it's not an emotional sign. It's rather detached, but pay attention to any emotions that come up during this full moon. They might be clues about the direction that you should be moving in, things that you should be doing. There might be a juggling act between your spouse or a partner and yourself. Maybe there's a spat and you're trying to really protect yourself and really pay attention to your own needs, but then your partner's feeling neglected. So just, you know, this Leo energy is very self-serving. So just remember that, you know, we all have to give and take in relationships. Pisces. So Pisces, Jupiter is your traditional ruler. Neptune is your modern ruler. So anytime Jupiter is changing signs or doing anything, it really affects you as well as Sagittarius. And so Jupiter is in your 10th house of career, public image, destiny, which tells me that you're really being blessed in those areas. A lot of Pisces risings, Pisces moons, you're really thinking about changing your career. You're having more career opportunities. Maybe people are coming in, the right people to really kind of help you, especially with all these planets in Capricorn right now. And you're really thinking about making a change and expanding your vision, expanding your destiny, and really walking and being aligned with that. Uranus is in Taurus in your 3rd house of communication, short distance travel. A lot of you will be taking trips unexpectedly over the next 7 years. A lot of people will have things happening with their siblings. Some of you might be having, you know, neighbors, different neighbors coming in out of the neighborhood or something. Maybe you're wanting to reach people. Maybe you're thinking about incorporating more technology into your career and your destiny, and you're having those two things go hand in hand to expand your business, to expand your opportunities. And then the full moon is happening in your 12th house, the sign right before yours, Aquarius. So there's like psychological deep things happening. You're contemplating. The moon is an emotional planet. Pisces is a water sign, more in tune with emotions and dreams. This is happening in the area that Pisces rules, the 12th house, which is all about the subconscious, going deeper, evaluating things on a really deep level, faraway places. Some of you might want to be going on a retreat or going away somewhere private to get away and really evaluate your feelings and, you know, working on yourself. And some of you, you're having really vivid dreams that might be directing you. Maybe you're having dreams about where you should be going in your career and who can help you and how you can make those things happen. So I hope you've enjoyed this weekly forecast. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. If you're wanting a personal reading, you can always go to my website, astrofashionista.com. I will link that below. I love to do personal readings for people and really dive deeper into these issues and things that you're wanting to manifest in your life and really help you do that. And really, if you have any suggestions for video ideas, leave them in the comments below. I'm going to be doing all types of videos that are not necessarily, you know, forecast related. I really want to, you know, teach you guys how to use astrology from a non-complicated way, something that's really simple. And I'm all about using astrology to make you manifest the things that you want in your life, and really using it, even the negative transits, to make them work for your benefit. So let me know if there's any types of videos you want to see, and I will talk to you guys later. I hope you have a great week.